NetsBoy, so let's hear what he has to say. His name is NetsBoy, he thinks the world is all over when the Nets just can't play. What up, Net fans? NetsBoy here, bring your latest in your Brooklyn Nets news. Okay, let's go. So much to talk about, so much to dive into. We just have to do it, and I have to just go for it, all right? Hope the sun doesn't bother you. I'm actually doing this during the day instead of night like I normally do because that's just how my schedule works today. Okay, let's go. So, my last NetsBoy episode was right before the NBA draft, in which I went over a couple things I want to do, da-da-da-da-da. Nothing really happened the way I said it. Doesn't really matter. It's completely irrelevant. The Nets ended up not trading any of their players to move up in the draft. However, they did do a trade that at first, well, I didn't know what I was going to say at first, but they traded Timothy Mozgov and the a couple second round draft picks for my favorite player of all time, Dwight Howard. Now, my first reaction to this was kind of priceless. It was literally like the exact up and down type of scenario that every Net fan felt with Dwight Howard. It was, yeah, wow, yeah, oh, what, does that help? What, nah! That's literally what I did. Look, it's not going to mean anything because the Nets are working on a buyout with them, which I think is the right decision. The whole point of the trade was to get Mozgov's money off the books. And, you know, Dwight Howard had an expiring contract, and now they're going to work out a buyout. And I think that's the right move because my initial reaction after that crazy whatever I just did was more of, well, Dwight's going to make them better. But what is that going to happen to Jarrett Allen? Because they can't play together. And we don't want to hinder the growth of Jarrett Allen. So I was kind of like, I get this move in the sense of making them better, but at what cost? But then when it was revealed that the Nets are planning on buying him out and Dwight wants to do a buyout, it just made a lot more sense. Like, oh, this was about getting rid of Mozgov, and just Dwight Howard just happened to be the name that fit the contract with the team that wanted to get rid of him as well. So that's all that trade really was. And in the next couple of days, we'll see the buyout. Should it probably happen. The buyout is key, though, to what the Nets are going to do via free agency because we don't know. The Nets only have, as of right now, and only about $5 to $10 million in cap space. And with the buyout, that's going to dictate how much more cap space they have. They could have up to about $15 million, but you know, right now it's only like $5 million, and who knows how much money Dwight's going to want and how much he's going to leave on the table. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens moving forward because that buyout is really going to dictate what the Nets do via free agency. But overall, that, like I said, that trade to me is a great trade when you look back now at it. It was just about getting rid of Mozgov, and they managed to get rid of that contract, and they're going to get Dwight Howard, and they're going to get all that money off the books because now the Nets are set up to have not a lot of money this summer, but next summer, they're going to have over close to $60 million in cap space now because they got that Mozgov contract off the books. And, you know, Alan Crabb, his money comes off the books, I think, on a team option the following year. And, I mean, they could have as much Jeremy Lin's contracts off, Tamari Carroll's off. All the big contracts that the Nets have will be off their books now at the end of next year. I think, no, Alan Crabb might be the only one that might still be on there. I think it's a player's option. I don't remember. But everyone else will be a free agent. So the Nets are going to have lots of money that offseason, which was the whole point of this move. And I said before, I think Sean Marks did a great job acquiring assets and picks by taking on these bad contracts. Now he needs to flip these bad contracts and get rid of them. And he did that just now with this Mozgov trade. That was a great move by Sean Marks. Like I said, Dwight Howard, the name, don't get hung up on the name, get hung up on what the whole reason of it behind it. And so I'm actually thrilled with it. And like I said, I was a little confused at first, but I'm a little relieved because I'm telling you, though I also am a little disappointed because I think a full season of Dwight Howard would have meant for some great NetsBoy videos because, as everybody knows, if you're one of my regular subscribers or viewers, Dwight Howard is hands down probably my least favorite player of all time. Like, I'm going to be honest. Like, there is a song I wrote way back. First song I ever wrote as a NetsBoy. Literally, like, episode, 15 or something like that. It might have been even earlier than that, in which I wrote about how Dwight Howard was the most overrated player in the NBA. And it's a great song. I think it's very funny. I'm going to have a link down in the description below back to that video for anybody who wanted to see it or hear it. I just want you to know it is dated. It was like 3-4 years ago. It talks about Dwight Howard being on the Rockets. So keep that in mind. It was right when it happened. It was like right when Dwight Howard left the Lakers and went to the Rockets. So way back. So it's some of the lyrics and stuff are dated, but go check it out when you have a chance. Like I said, I'll put the link down in the description below if you guys want to go back and see it if you haven't had a chance to see it. It was also the very first NetsBoy song ever written. So anyway, it would have been fun if he was here, but he's not. Okay, we'll drop that. The big thing that the Nets did during the draft, though, was they drafted 2 European players. Now I've been struggling to pronounce both their names, so I'm just gonna go out and do it. Whatever. The first guy they got with the 29th overall pick was Zhan and Musa, and he is supposed to be one of the better European players in the draft. There was actually some scouts who actually believed that down the road he could be one of the best players in the draft, and that's even more than great. I forgot the guy's name. The 3rd overall pick guy. I can't believe I forgot. I can't believe I forgot his name. But anyway, he was supposed to be just as good. Could be better than him, which I don't think is possible. I can't believe I forgot the guy's name. Give me 2 seconds because I'm mad at myself that I forgot his name. Hold on a second. I'm just going to my Google machine and just to look up because I don't like forgetting important people's names. Give me 1 second. Luka Doncic. That's his name. Luka Doncic. How could I forget that? Because all they were talking about is how great that guy is going to be. So, anyway, some scouts believe that down the road, not right now, he could become just as good as Doncic, if not maybe better. Or I don't believe that. From what I've been able to watch of his game, you know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of Bojan Bogdanovic. I'm dead serious. I'm watching him play. I watched some videos of him playing in the EuroLeague and his style of play. He reminds me of a Bojan Bogdanovic, that type of player, which is fine. Bogdanovic, I never really liked Bogdanovic, but he wasn't a terrible player. So if he's like Bogdanovic down the road, that's not bad. Now, they say he's going to take time to develop. He's going to need to learn the NBA. He's a very skinny guy, but who knows what could happen. So he's supposed to be with the Nets this season. Both guys who the Nets drafted are supposed to be with the Nets this year. They're not going to be a draft and stash, so we'll see. So we'll see about Musa. And then later on in the second round, they drafted Ronis Kruskis. Like I said, I can't pronounce these names. Radunius Krurix. European name. I struggle pronouncing names anyway. It doesn't have to be European, but anyway, he is an athletic. Do I want to use the term big? I don't know. He's considered like one of those small forward, power forward hybrids. He's 6'9", but he's really, really skinny. But he has a very good shot, and he's another player that's going to take time to develop. He's another player that the Nets are going to have to develop and see, and they believe that, particularly him, but maybe even Musa will both maybe be in the G League most of the year. So we'll see. The neat thing about him though is that he's tall. Athletic for his size at 6'9". He's got a great shot. He's very quick. And, they say he has no size, though. He needs to build up a lot of weight. And, it's crazy to say this, but I could see him being like a Mirza Teletovic 2.0. So the way I look at it is the Nets just drafted a Bogdanovic 2.0 and a Teletovic 2.0 in their style of play. If that's the case, then I'm pleased with these players, but we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to see how they develop. We'll have to see what they become. I'm hoping that maybe down the road they become something solid and they become solid rotational players. Either way, they're young players with a chance and opportunity to develop, and we'll see moving forward. Other than that, Nets haven't done anything else. Free agency officially will begin tomorrow. Today's the 30th. Tomorrow's July 1st. That's when negotiations can start. Obviously, the big news, of course, is LeBron opting out of his contract. I don't even care about that at this point. it's the same damn thing every summer. It's the summer of LeBron. It's the summer of LeBron every freaking summer. So who cares? But obviously, we'll see what happens this offseason. But now I'm just going to quickly transition to the offseason and what I personally want to see the Nets do. I'm going to spend only a couple minutes on this because the truth of it is I have no idea what they're going to do. Because as of right now, they only have like that $5 million in cap space. They have a lot of free agents that I think they could go after and then some they should bring back. Obviously, Joe Harris is a big one, but I don't know if they can get Joe Harris for just $5 million. But like I said earlier, a lot of this is contingent on the Dwight Howard buyout and if the Nets decide to move Tamari Carroll or Jeremy Lin. And I bring up those two guys because there's been some speculation that there's some certain teams interested in either of those guys. For example, a lot of people believe that Jeremy Lin could go to a team that needs a solid backup point guard or a mentoring point guard or something along that lines, that teams might roll the dice with them. Someone suggested like the Atlanta Hawks, even though they have Schroeder, but perhaps they might try to swing Schroeder because now they got Trae Young, who they really, really like, and maybe they want to bring a mentor there. Some people, bring up the Hornets again, even though Lin came from the Hornets, because maybe Kemba Walker be traded and they're looking to be a filler. Something along those lines. Some people said the Clippers. So there's teams that are currently looking for maybe a solid point guard. And even though Lin has been hurt throughout the year, some teams might roll the dice and go after him because he is, when healthy, a very productive and solid NBA player. So maybe he gets traded. And then there's Tamari Carroll, who a lot of teams wanted to get during the draft. There was a lot of rumors, but Sean Marks didn't want to pull the trigger. Maybe one of those teams now sweeten the pot a little bit and go for Tamari Carroll. Maybe a team like the Nuggets or like the Bucks or something along those lines. So a lot of this is contingent on what happens with those two guys in the Dwight Howard buyout. I personally do believe that Sean Marks is going to trade one of those guys. Whether it's Lin or it's Carroll, I think one of them will be traded. I just think, or Spencer Dinwiddie and partner with it, because even though Dinwiddie has a very respectable contract, I think that he might be used to entice a team to make a trade. I don't know. I think that, both those guys are great players, and I don't necessarily want to see them gone. But if it means being able to create a little bit more cap space this offseason, I would do it, because there's some players I would like the Nets to try to get. First and foremost, I would love for them to bring back Joe Harris. He's probably going to look at a contract around $8 million. I'm going to be honest. I think there's going to be a team that's going to pay him 3 years, $8 million, and I think that that's where he's going to go. He wants to be back with the Nets. The Nets want him back, but I don't think without clearing up more cap space, they'll be able to get him. But here's the thing. As much as I want the Nets to get bring Joe Harris back, to me, he's not the most important need the Nets have. Look at the Nets' wing position. You got Karis LeVert right now, Tamari Carroll, Allen Crabbe. I mean, those are three guys who all play the wing position. You can get another solid wing player for much less than Joe Harris, even though, like I said before, I really like Joe Harris, and I loved what he's done for the Nets this year. But those three guys are your three forwards right now. I mean, you know what I mean? And then you look at the other guard position. We said Spencer Dinwiddie, D'Angelo Russell, Jeremy Lin, Isaiah Whitehead. They're all there as guards, and they can all play the wing position. So as much as I want them to bring Joe Harris back, I don't know if should really be the number one priority. The number one priority for the Nets should be they need another big. I mean, they got rid of Mozgov, and they're probably not going to bring back Okafor. Maybe they'll bring back AC, but AC to me was never a true big. They're going to bring back Dante Cunningham again as the backup center. That really got me mad. They need another big, another solid big man, a veteran big man who can come and be a mentor to the young Jared Allen and teach him and mold him into the best center in the game. I don't know if that's true, but one of the better centers in the game. But he needs a mentor. You can throw him out there every game as the starting center, which is fine, but he needs somebody to help show him the ropes. Preferably also a center or a big who can play alongside Jared Allen. You know where I'm going with this. Call up my boy Brook Lopez. I know it. I know. Hold on. NetsBoy, timeout. Just give it a rest, NetsBoy. Forget about Brook Lopez. He's gone. He's no longer. He's the past. Drop it. No, just hear me out for a second. Brook Lopez is a free agent. Brook Lopez loves the Brooklyn Nets. Brook Lopez loves them so much that if they do to buy out Dwight Howard and there's about 10 to 15 million cap space, I think Brook would sign a 1-year, $10 million contract with the Nets to come back to where he's comfortable and have an opportunity to reprove himself. Look, will Brook Lopez be the starter? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe, but I see him in a 25-minute capacity role and let Jared Allen play the rest of the minutes. But here's the thing. Their games can work together because Brook Lopez can spread the floor and knock down the three-point shot. Yes, Brook Lopez is not agile, but guess what? Jared Allen is agile and a quick enough lateral defender. I can see them playing together. I really can. I can see them on offense, Jared Allen being more the traditional center, being in the pick and roll, and Lopez spreading the floor and playing like the 4 on the offensive side. And then on the defensive side, I can see it being the opposite. I can see Lopez playing the big body, the traditional 5, and Allen playing the 4, and because he's got the lateral quickness and the ability to guard a little bit more quicker bigs. I think it's a great idea. And I think Brook Lopez would be a great mentor for Jared Allen. And I think that their games could work together. Obviously, Brook Lopez would not be the guy like he was before. And like I said, he'll only probably play 22 to 25 minutes. But he'd at least be in the rotation. And I think that his comfort level will be there with Brooklyn. And I just think it's a good fit. And let Jared Allen learn under the best center the Nets have ever had. And I just want to see it. That being said, I don't think that's what's going to happen. I don't think Sean Marks is going to go after Lopez. I feel like Sean Marks, if anything, is going to maybe try to trade Carroll or Lynn or some other player for a solid veteran big who can, of a lesser degree. I mean, honestly, Tyler Zeller would be an adequate fit at this point. I know the Nets traded him last year. If they want to trade for him back, I don't know, maybe they could try that. Or I mean, I haven't really had a chance to look at some of the centers that could be available. But, you know, a veteran center or a veteran big to play behind or next to Jared Allen, to me, is the true need of the Nets. There's some rumors that the Nets might go after Julius Randle if they make the proper moves to create more cap space, and thinking that the Lakers may not try to re-sign him since they're going after LeBron and Paul George and Kawhi Leonard and everybody. That's a possibility. And once again, it's all about the cap space. It's all about how much cap space can Sean Marks clear to go after these players. But all I know is I would love Sean Marks to after the Dwight Howard situation, bring back Brook Lopez for $10 million, because he should have that cap space, and then maybe make a trade or two. I mean, in a perfect world, you trade Tamari Carroll, shed his contract, bring on another, like, you know, maybe another solid big or two that could be a solid little rotational player maybe, and then you create an extra like $10 million in cap space in the trade, and now you have about, you know, $15 million in cap space or $18 million. Then you sign Joe Harris, and then you sign Brook Lopez because you have about $15 million left. And then to solidify the veteran leadership, you signed my boy Vince Carter for a veteran's minimum contract. That's like the fantasy that's going on in my head right now. Once again, never will happen. I doubt it will happen, but I would love to see that happen. But it's whatever. Anyway, my point is we don't know what's going to happen through free agency. It's going to be exciting to see what happens. I'm excited. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think about the draft and the guys that they got, and what you feel some of the players the Nets could get over free agency, and about who you would want them to try to go after and what contracts. Let me know what you guys think. Also, let's start sharing these videos a little bit more. I want to try to build back up my viewers and subscribers, because like I've mentioned this before, they dipped a little bit over the couple months since I haven't been on top of these as much, but I am going to try to be more consistent with my videos. So let me know what you guys think. And my next NetsBoy episode will probably be probably midpoint through July, hopefully after some signings and some things have happened. But we'll see. It might be a little bit later than that. You know, it'll be based off of what kind of news the Nets make. But keep your eyes open for that. And until the next time, this is NetsBoy signing off.